Oh, hi there. It's Thursday, and unexpectedly, I do have some time to stream today. So it's a little bit, it's not going to be too long. It's probably at most going to be about 2 hours, but that's enough time to do some Tsumeshogi, and that's where I am. I'm at playshogi.com. I am going to continue the Tsume in 5, the Mate in 5 problem set that I was doing, I think it was a week or so ago. And I am going to start at problem 19. So let me put the link here. I'm just getting this going. Let me put the link in chat. There's that. And put it into YouTube. There we go, in case anyone's interested in playing along. And that's really it. So I'm sure, as people come in, we'll have things to talk about. But for now, let me just try to think about this problem here. Got two knights in hand. Feels like I can drop a knight. Drop a knight on 2-5. King has to go to 2-4. Um, huh. Hey, Verdin, nice to see you. All right, so maybe my idea here of okay, so how about this? How about this? I think we want to get our dragon out of the way because we want to drop a knight on 2-6. So how about we sack our dragon on 2-4? Sack the dragon on 2-4. Bishop has to take. Knight drop 2-5. King goes to 1-4. Knight drop 2-6. Okay. Yeah, today is Shogi Day. I was originally not going to stream at all today because I have two appointments at the house. There's this never-ending saga with carpenter ants where someone has been claiming to come out, or they were going to come out, they were going to do it, and for the third appointment now, it was scheduled for this morning, but last night he called and said that he's got jury duty. So I have a window here. Our water softener is going to be replaced a little later today, so that second one, that second appointment is still in place. So I don't have that much time. Like I don't have enough time such that I feel comfortable playing at like a slow game at Shogi Club 24. Because those I have had a game go over 2 hours on that site. It's rare, but I have had it happen on stream where the game went, I think it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I wouldn't want to run the risk of that. But so I'm doing Tsume. Also, my calculation has not been great lately, so I feel like I need a little refresher. I don't know if I'd call this one artificial. Feels a little artificial, but a lot of things could feel artificial in shogi. I think there's just a lot of crazy little tactics and patterns. So moving on to problem 20. Okay. So the rook, their dragon is defending. I want to play knight 3-6, but their dragon is defending it. Let's see. So my candidates here. Yeah, I can't jump the knight because the dragon will just take it. I can't drop, or I can't silver 2/5. The king can just run. The king could just run. If I lance drop 2/5, dragon has to take. Dragon has to take. Silver takes. And then silver takes. The king, I think the king can take, but I think the dragon can also just run. I mean, the king can also just run. If lance 2/5, dragon takes, silver takes, king 3/5, I think is just running. Hey, NinWorld, nice to see you. So silver 1/5. Oh, again, like the last problem, we need to get our rook out of the way of the knight. So rook 1/4, king takes, lance 1/5, king 2/4, knight 1/6. Okay. Okay. So again, rook 2/4, king takes, lance 1/5, king runs back, knight 1/6. All right. Emperor Rex, good day. Hello, hello. Problem 21. So this, I wonder if there's just a theme here of just getting, sacking our dragon or rook. Hey, Koshiro, nice to see you. I feel like I have to one gap. So this must be too easy. This feels like a mate in 3, not a mate in 5. Block, and then silver. Oh, no. Dragon. If I get the one gap, the bishop blocks, so that the king has this running square on 1/5. Let me clear these arrows. I should be visualizing, not draw. I should be visualizing, not drawing. So I'm going to continue with the one gap. So rook 3/4, dragon 3/4, bishop 2/4, pawn drop 1/5 to lure the king out. King has to take, and now the dragon to 2/5. So one gap, block, pawn, because of the pin, the king has to take, and then the dragon to 2/5. All right. All right. That was problem 21. Defending is also a skill that we improve while solving Tsumeshogi. That's a great point. I think that's true. And I lately, in these past 2 weeks, I've had a few games. There was one yesterday, and there were a couple others in the past week, I want to say, where I felt like my defending was getting better, and I was almost wondering if it was because I've started doing Tsume again more off stream. So I had taken a long break when I had that big plateau when I had that big plateau slash regression after hitting Shogi Wars Shodan, I kind of stopped a lot of my. Wait, was it then? No, it was before. It was when I was trying to hit when I had the plateau at 1Q and I was not ranking up to Shodan. And this is a while ago. So I had stopped doing regular Tsumeshogi outside of my mate run, which I do every day. Mate run, I still do my mate runs every day, and I still do my Pyoshogi on Sundays and things like that. But I had stopped with a lot of my Tsume and Hishi study because like that plateau was. I was wondering if maybe I was searching too much for Tsumes or searching too much for Hishis, and I don't know if that helped or hurt, because I eventually did rank up, on Shogi Wars. But just recently now, I've started doing them again, especially the ending attack techniques 200. And it feels like that has leveled up my defense, because now when I'm defending, I'm seeing, I'm better at seeing what they're trying to do. I'm faster at finding the problems in the reverse side. So moving on to problem 22. How is it? Oh, this is a silver. I didn't see this silver. I was gonna say, how is it not just bishop 1-3? If this is a pawn, I think bishop 1-3 is it. What is that? Viridin subscribe with Prime. Thank you. Thank you. Boy, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That feels nice. That feels very nice. And hello, Sib on YouTube. Defending happens when you see the attack. Yeah. Thank you again, Viridin. I really appreciate that. So what are candidates here? My main candidate is still is horse takes 1-2. Horse takes 1-2. King takes. That silver, the silver defending my drop point is kind of annoying. There's no pawn drop right now. I think I can immediately discard silver 3-2 and silver takes 2-4. If silver takes 2-4 just lets the king run. So there's not much else. There's not much else besides that. There's just not much else. So let's look at bishop 1-3 again. Bishop 1-3, silver takes. Yeah. So if king takes, it's mate by horse 2-2. If it's silver takes, then it's pawn drop 2-4. Silver has to take, and then horse 2-2. So we get, so the past three problems have been getting one of your major pieces out of the way. So again, bishop 1-3. If lance or king takes, it's horse 2-2. If silver takes, it's pawn drop. Silver has to take, pawn drop on 2-4. Silver has to take, and then we pull the horse back down, and then that's mate. That's a cool one. I like that. Dancing the pieces, trying to, something Kotaro had talked about a long time ago. Trying to, if you see a position on the board that is mate, you can try to rearrange the pieces such that you can make that mate. It's been a long time since you played Mate Challenge on Shogi Quest. You missed a couple Tsumes, but it was fun nevertheless. I haven't done mate challenge in a while. I do my daily mate run. So I've been doing, I wish, I'm a sucker for like streaks and stats and all that kind of stuff. So I wish mate challenge or mate run like saved your history and like said, oh, you've been doing this. You've done a mate run every day for the past, 1,000 days. I would love that. But regardless, I do my mate runs every morning. Mate challenge I haven't done as much. Maybe I should get back into it. Maybe I should. Shogi Quest made an update yesterday, and it lowers the app size if that's ever been a problem for any of you. It's now, at least on iOS, it's now under 100K or 100 meg, and which is still massive for an app like that. But they made some bug fixes. So anyway, I launched it. I played some games. I think I played 4 games. I played 4 10-minute games off stream yesterday on Shogi Quest. They were terrible. I was 2-2, but they were terrible games. I don't see. I've mentioned this before when I've streamed on Shogi Quest. On Shogi Quest, I haven't. I think I mentioned it last time I was streaming on Shogi Quest. I just don't see the board very well there. I don't see the board there. The clock the clock feels busted to me, where my time just goes by so fast. If I have 5 seconds, it like even if I'm blitzing my moves, with tap, it's taking so much time for each move, and I don't know if there's a minimum or something. I don't know, but either way, all sorts of excuses besides. It was a real tough time, and I didn't really enjoy the games. So it was 10, the 10-minute on Shogi Quest. My opponents, as I always say, it felt so random. I'm only like 1400s, because I haven't played many. I'm still ranking up there, but I'm only 1400s on Shogi Quest. But it's like I'll play one person who's 1300, and he'll just feel like a god, and then I'll play someone who's 1470 or whatever, and I just kind of steamroll them. It's really weird. It's really weird. Oh, the clock is busted. Furuta closed his account a year ago because of this. Okay. That's great. That's great confirmation. Because when I was streaming, we have video evidence of mine, and it looks like it's just not working. It's just not working. I mean, it's taking too much time. And during 2 of my 4 games yesterday, my opponents, they disconnected, and then they came back, and they didn't lose any time. So maybe that's another bug of it. But like in 2 of those games, it said disconnected in the top left, and I don't know what that is. Maybe I don't know, but it was very strange. It was very strange. It definitely turned me off playing more at Shogi Quest. Okay, wow, we've got 2 rooks. So immediately I'm looking at rook 1-3. So rook 1-3, rook 1-3, king has to take, and bishop 1-2 would be mate if not for this horse. So what can I do? What can I do? This is what I can do. I can rook drop 1-3. King still has to take. Rook drop 3-3. If they block, it's bishop. If the bishop takes, it's the horse takes. It's the same bishop. So rook drop, horse. Okay, so that was 23. ShogiCraft does it. It is live. I don't know about launch, like getting more. So it is live. There are at least two courses there. There are two courses. Yeah, I think there's still two courses. So there's the Yonanaga style rapid attack Yagura. So I went through that course. It was a real nice course. And then there's also this Shogi Fundamentals Pawn Tactics, which is really nice. Let me just put the link in here. I'm looking just in case anyone is there. So my understanding, and hopefully I'm not misstating this, is that he went to some of the people in Japan and tried to drum up interest, maybe even Sugar. I'm not sure if he contacted Sugar or he's friends with Shogi Hiroki. He knows he's childhood friends with Shogi Hiroki. So I'm not sure if he talked to him about it, but it sounded like trying to get people to make material for it or get interested, and it sounded like he couldn't get the interest going. So I don't know, what's happening. I know, he's working and whatnot. So I don't know what's going to happen with Shogi Craft, but I'm still hopeful for it because I think it's great. And I would love to put a course on there myself. I would love to put my Urashino Ryu lines on there potentially. It really seems hard. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I imagine that was Chessable started the same way. So Chessable, which is Chessable is probably the one of the models for Shogi Craft. Chessable, I'll just show mine. I'm now at 1,856 day streak on Chessable. Chessable started as just a website, and they got it going, they got it working really well, and they got all their core functionality. Everything was great. They got it on the website. People were always asking, "What about a mobile app? What about a mobile app?" Their website did work on mobile, but obviously, people want a mobile app, and eventually they did release a mobile app, and that is what I'm using. And if you're a premium member there, you get things like offline ability, to do your courses offline. So it's really nice. And I imagine, if Shogi Craft got to a critical mass where they had enough users and users to pay the bills or some bills, a mobile app would probably be the next thing. But right now, it's just a labor of love project, and I don't think there's even a way to pay. So yeah, next time I see him, I'll probably talk to him about that. See if he's planning it. But I'm guessing he's just kind of in a wait and see here. All right, so I think this is an easy sack. I'm looking at horse. I was going to say horse. If rook takes, knight drop, king runs, dragon is mate. But if king takes, so if king takes, it's dragon takes, block, lance drop. Okay. That was 24. Oops. Stop the timer. Yeah, I want to stop the timer. It started the timer. It started the speed run. So moving back to 25. Moving back to 25. Let me clear this so I don't have the timer on here. Okay. I'm not sure if the timer would block the chat. All right. This is interesting. This is interesting. 2 golds. So I think I need to Scorpion this guy. Maybe I need to Scorpion. Gold drop 2-1. King takes. I'm taking my mouse off. I'm taking my mouse off. I'm not touching the mouse. I need to think. Gold drop 2-1. King has to take. Silver 4-2 promote. Hold on. Gold 2-1. It feels like gold 2-1 is almost the only possible way to make this work. Gold 2-1. King takes. Gold 2-1. King takes. Gold 2-2. And king cannot take because the silver's there. So gold takes. And then that cuts off the escape route. So silver 4-2 promote, and then there's no interposition. Okay. Gold 2-1, gold 2-2, silver 4-2 promote. That's cool. That's cool. Pretty rare, I'd say, in a lot of, at least in a lot of my mates. It feels like it's pretty rare to have 2 golds in hand, you know, if I'm already making this attack, but maybe. I think the first thing that I'm eyeballing is gold drop, gold 1-4 or gold 2-4 to cut off the escape route. Lance takes, silver 2-2, no promote, king 3-2 or 2-3, token 3-3. Yeah, I think that's it. So gold 2-4. Lance has to take. Silver 2-2 promote. No promote. King has to go to 2-3. Token 3-3. That guards 3-4. It guards 3-2. And the silver guards 1-3. Yeah. Okay. That was 26. Moving on to 27. We've got to cut off. So the escape route right now, the escape route is 3-4. 3-4 okay. It's 3-4 and it's 4-3. So the important part is going to be to get this bishop here to cut that off. Then he's going to run and promote here. If he runs back, now we promote and we're a horse. And so, or well, if he comes back, then we drop the gold. So bishop drop. Well, there are two routes. You can take the silver, in which case I drop the gold on 2-3. But if he goes to 3-2, then bishop 2-1 promote. King can't take because gold on head. And so if the king comes back, then it's just gold drop 2-4. That was 27. This is 28. 28 here. Okay. We have a knight. I think it's knight drop. Knight drop. If the king goes to 2-2, well, that's the only way it can go. So knight drop, king 2-2, horse 1-3, which requires king takes, and then rook 3-3 promote, gets the one gap, and there's no interposition because, or interpolation because the knight is watching 2-3. That's a cool one. That's a cool one. That was 28. Moving on to 29. Interesting. So our escape route here, we have to watch out for 3-5. So bishop 1-3. Bishop 1-3. King cannot go to 3-3 because gold drop on 3-2 is made. Bishop 1-3. King cannot go to 1-4 because gold 2-4 is mate. Bishop 1-3. King cannot go to... King cannot go to... Well, king cannot go to 1-4 because the dragon's already watching it. So king goes to 2-5. Then gold drop 1-5. So what else? Knight takes. So knight takes on 1-3. If knight takes... If knight takes... If knight takes, I'm not seeing a way to cut off 3-5. I'm just not seeing it. So how about if we approach from the other side? So something like bishop 4-6. Let's just say bishop 4-6. King 2-5. King 2-5. Gold 2-6 would be mate. So bishop 4-6, or any of these really, but bishop 4-6. Bishop 4-6. Let's say there's a block with the gold. Gold 1-5. No, because you can run this way. Horse 4-3. King 2-5. I can no longer drop a gold because this gold would be able to take it because it's no pin anymore. So bishop drop, block, gold 1-5, king 3-2, 3-3, silver 2-3 promote is mate. All right, I'm going to guess that this is wrong, but I think this is right. Okay, Gote is still in Tsume. Your solution may be longer or the puzzle has multiple solutions. Okay. So let's drop it back here. Okay. So I'm right. But I'm missing a solution. I'm right. I'm right, but I'm not as right as they want me to be. So I am right. I am right, but I guess they want me to be more right. So what's another way? What's another way to cut off this? You know, if I do this and then they take, I can't get this out of here. I guess I could do. I could. If knight takes, I sack I sack the bishop. If he runs, I get the gold. Okay, so that also will work. That also will work. All right. So both ways work. Both ways work. I like my other way. I like my... So that's a buggy problem. 29 is a buggy problem. That would be a killer in a speed run. Problem 30. Okay, I've got a silver and a gold in hand. Okay, gold drop. I think we need 2 silver. So gold drop, knight has to take, silver 2-3, king has to go to 2-4, silver drop 2-3-3. Yeah, we got it. We've got to create this prison of silvers. Hey Spinoza, nice to see you. It's a silver prison. It's a silver barred prison. Problem 31. Problem 31. I think what I need is the promotion. Pawn promote. Horse has to take. Gold drop 2-2. No. I was going to say gold drop 2-2, horse has to take, and then drop the knight, but no, now the king can run to 2-1. So I'm still going to look at this line. There's also gold drop 4-1, but I'm going to continue on the token line. So 2-1 pawn promote. 2-1 pawn promote, dragon take, or horse takes. 4-1 gold drop, horse takes. I still can't drop the knight. The horses are still guarding the knight drop. Yeah, I think I probably want to end with a knight drop on this. No. Promote. Token promote. Horse set to take. Knight drop. Knight drop. Horse has to take. Gold drop 2-2. So this is like those other problems where we're trying to get rid of a piece. Like, what if this pawn was a gold? I think that's the key. All right. It's kind of a cool little shift of stuff. I like that one. I like that one. I like that. Problem 32. 2 silvers. The name of the site is playshogi.com. So here is the link to this particular problem in the problem set. I'll paste that into YouTube as well. So I am liking right now silver drop 1-3. Silver drop 1-3. King takes. Silver drop 1-4. If king takes, then dragon 1-5 is mate. If the silver takes, dragon 2-2 is mate. So silver drop 1-3. If king takes the pawn, then it's just dragon takes 2-3. Okay. This is a cool one. Moving much faster than I did last time on this problem set. So it's like I say, some days you just see more than others. Some days you see more than others. Moving to 33. We've got a bishop in a golden hand. We've got a bishop on 5-9. There's a slight escape route on 3-5. I'm looking at bishop drop 1-4. I'm looking at bishop drop 1-4 right away. So bishop drop 1-4, there are only 2 responses. There's king takes, and then there's king 3-5. If king 3-5, gold drop 2-5 is mate. Oh, it is not mate. It is not mate. It's not mate. Because the king can go to 3-6. But then I pull the gold back to 2-6. Yeah. So if the king takes on 1-4, then it's simply gold drop 2-4 for mate. Yeah. Okay. Problem, that was 33. Moving to problem 34. Let's see. We have a horse. I mean, we have a rook and a silver in hand. got two dragons. All right, gosh, I can't even name the pieces. We've got a horse and we've got a bishop in hand or on the board. Woof. My language skills. My play has been okay. My language skills though. Hey Darkney, nice to see you. I am considering just shoving this rook in at 2-2. Gold can't take because either the bishop or the horse takes back and its mate. So the king has to go to 1-3. I think the mate is going to be too long. The mate is going to be too long after that. So I don't think I can be that. I don't think that can be a mate in 5. So rook 2-2, king 1-3. Yep, got that merch shilling link. Yep. The new one is this hoodie. There are multiple colors, but the new one is this is this it's a Shogi Dad hoodie. Prior to this, there was only the Nekobisha hoodie, but now there's just sort of the you know the usual the same Shogi Dad brand stuff, just on this. I think what is it called? Double twill or ring loop twill. It's a real nice feel. It's a different feel from the other hoodie. It's but there's a green, there's a navy. Obviously, I'm wearing the green. But yeah, so it's this new hoodie. It's got these nice straps. If you're a fan of like connoisseur of hoodie straps, I like these thick hoodie straps. It's got the metal loop here. Um, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm pretty pleased with it. It is a little more expensive than the Nekobisha one. I think this material, the material is a little more premium than just sort of the usual sort of hoodie material. But yeah, charcoal heather is pretty darn good. I like charcoal heather. I don't like for t-shirts, I don't get the heather shirts as much, despite the fact that they're probably my favorite look, just because the polyester interacts with my body chemistry kind of weird. So I stick to in t-shirts I'll stick generally to cotton without any polyester. But I think the heather, I really like the heather look. So can I just drop the rook on 1-4? Drop the rook on 1-4. Um, and then he blocks with a pawn. So I jinxed myself by saying that I'm doing really, really well today, because this one is now taking a long time. Yeah, that's the problem, Darkney. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, we were talking about this on the stream a couple days ago. That's the thing that I really find unfortunate. With this, unfortunately, with this seller, the people that run this shop, the company behind the shop, the shipping is just it's expensive. So like I have minimized the price of these pretty much as I can, because I take a very 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 small amount. It's barely anything. Um and um I just wish that they would, obviously they're not as big as Amazon or whatever, so they can't control the shipping. They can't run their own shipping, but yeah, all I'm saying, it is understandable. It's understandable that people don't get it because of the shipping cost. And I was actually hoping that they would have a Black Friday type sale where they would take shipping away. Um, I have the I have the I have the ability on this site to add a what they call a promotion, which would grant like free shipping for any orders over $75. I have that kind of, power, but it sounds like depending on the actual shipping cost, the shipping and import cost, it actually might cost me. They might charge me to ship it out. It's really weird. And I tried to be Amazon. Amazon does offer this thing where you can have your shirts. You can make a merchant account, and they'll ship out the shirts. So it's subject to all. They print and send out the shirts. So it's you get free shipping and all that kind of stuff. That great stuff with Amazon. The quality of the shirts and the hoodies from Amazon is not as good. But regardless, they declined my merchant application. So I don't know what is drop shipping. Hey, virtual medical doctor Ayaka, nice to see you. Yeah, they don't like. Yeah, Amazon does not like Shogi Dad. It's big. It's big retail. Big retail does not like Shogi. I cannot solve this one. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's on their blacklist. It's a cruel, cruel world for Shogi content creators. Oh, hold on. If I drop the rook and he blocks, horse takes, silver takes, gold drop his mate, drop the rook. If drop the rook, gold takes, it's bishop. So drop the rook. Bishop or horse takes gold. King takes. No, that's not mate in five because I get a gold drop here. And then he runs. You're not fast enough to beat the time attack trial? Oh no. Have you memorized like if you memorize them, I think you will. You probably just the people that probably have the number one scores on there, they probably just memorized it. You probably did them a bunch of times and memorized. Because it's only like 50, it's only 50 some problems. Let me see. Yeah, it's 53 problems. All right, so I'm gonna guess on this one. Okay, tell me why. It says there's no mate. Okay. Just to move on here. Just to move on. Oh, you were doing that 15 move collection. That one's crazy. All right, I'm just going to start pushing pieces in. I'm going to start pushing pieces in. So all my guesses. Looking at silver 1-3. Whew. So if he takes, so silver 1-3, king takes. I don't see the mate. You know, rook drop 1-3, king takes. I don't see the mate. So I'm back to horse takes 2-3. Horse takes 2-3. King takes. Wait, horse takes 2-3. No, horse takes 2-3. If silver takes, rook 2-4. That's not enough. That's not enough. You know, if silver takes rook 2-4. So if horse takes 2-2, or horse takes 2-3, silver. Oh, if silver takes gold drop 2-2, king 1-3. That's not going to be it. It's not going to be mate in 5. Light Spinoza, you think rook 1-3? I that's the one I looked at. I don't see the follow-up after king takes. So light move is using a piece from the board. Yeah. You know, I'm looking at bishop takes 1-1. I have taken more time on this problem than the 10 problems before today. I've taken more time on this problem than way more time than the 10 problems. Although I was talking about the hoodie. So bishop 2-2. Gold takes. Bishop 2-2. Gold takes. Silver 1-3. Okay, if king takes, then rook drop 1-4. If gold takes, then rook drop 2-2. Okay, there it is. There it is. Bishop 2-2 promote. Gold has to take. Silver 1-3. If king takes, rook drop 1-4 is mate. If gold takes, rook drop 2-2 is mate. All right. All right. All right. Boy, it took a long time. Is there a way to increase the board size? No. No. I mean, you can use your browser. You can use your browser's zoom feature. But no, I don't think there's any way to increase the board size. You know, it's pretty it's pretty light on sort of, it's the graphical on the UI kind, the user interface configuration. Yeah, and I don't, there's no, outside of doing some sort of plugins, there's no way to get the, the white to for dark mode. My stream here, so my stream setup for Play Shogi is a combination of 110% zoom in my browser, and then cutting that window out and then stretching it in my in OBS, to make it look like it's a full screen thing, to try to hide all the white stuff, all the empty space. Hey, Oregon Moniwa, great to see you. Okay, this is problem 35. Oh, nice, nice. So my first idea was to gold drop, but no, there's too many opening squares. So we've got to watch out. The king running to 4-1 is a problem. The king running to 4-3 is a problem. So I'm thinking about rook 2-1, rook 2-1 promote, which forces king 4-3. Forces king 4-3. Not seeing what to do after if rook 2-1 promote king 4-3. I'm not seeing how to close that off. Oh, how about rook 3-1? Rook 3-1. If king takes, then rook 2-1 promote is mate. But king again runs to 4-3. Ah, then I get the promotion of rook takes 3-4. Okay, yeah, so there it is. All right. All right. Back on track. 36 is the next one. Problem 36. We've got two horses. We've got two horses and a rook in hand. We have two horses and a rook in hand. This feels like a position that I would have at the end of a Shogi Wars 10-minute game, and I have 32 seconds left on my clock. And this is where I get dirty flagged. I could feel it. I could feel it. The opponent has 7.5 minutes on the clock, and I have 32 seconds. The obvious rook drop to 4, I think, just loses to the gold because I can't switch over since the silver is defending. The silver is doing a nice job defending. So what about rook drop? What about rook drop 1-3? Rook drop 1-3, lance takes, pawn takes. King takes. And that ends. And that ends it. Hey Fordu, nice to see you. Having a short stream today. The saga of the carpenter ants continues. Got a call last night from the guy who was scheduled to come out this morning, and he said he has jury duty, so he's not able to come out today. But our water softener is still going to be replaced in a little bit later. So long story short, I had a couple hours to stream. You know, not really enough for Shogi Club 24, but enough maybe for some Tsume. Huh. Boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Oh, no, I don't have two rooks. I don't have two rooks. I was going to say, you know, close this area off. So you found it. This one is tricky. This one's tricky. Rook drop 1-3. Lance takes. No. Rook drop 3-3. Gold takes. Or the king can just take the pawn on 1-4. Silver 2-2. Silver 2-2. No, king takes. King takes, and there's no follow-up. Horse 4-1. Oh. Horse 3-2. Horse 3-2. If silver takes, Rook drop 2-2. King takes 1-4. Yeah, maybe that's not it. Maybe that's not it. Or I think just king takes is going to do it too. Okay, so that's not it. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy. Really struggling. Really struggling. Boy, I'm not even seeing good ideas. It's 2-1 rook? No. Boy. 2-4 horse? No, king takes. Wow. Wow, I am stumped on this. It's so funny how like some of them are just so easy. You see immediately, and some of them you just don't you just don't see, you don't immediately click. It feels like so many of these for me, like if I don't immediately click, it's going to be a while. Wait. No, no, hold on, hold on. Rook 1-3, lance takes, pawn takes, king takes, lance drop. No, no, lance drop 1-5 doesn't do it. Because my horse is not in the right spot. Hmm. Boy, I'll take first moves at this point. I'll take first moves. Rook 2-4, gold takes. I don't know. I'm just making moves. I'm just gonna make moves. I'm just making moves. Okay, so that's what it is. So silver promote, silver 2-2 promote. Oh, if king takes, rook drop 2-1, so silver has to take. Or if so silver has to take. Then silver 2-2 promote, silver takes. Rook drop 2-4. Gold takes. Horse 4-1. Wow. That's a crazy one. Whoa, that one was crazy. That one was crazy. Okay. I don't feel so bad about missing it. Problem 37. Moving on. Moving on to problem 37. So we sort of have a baby Hishi. I'm looking at silver 3-2. I'm right now my first inclination. Hello, Pranat Jane. Nice to see you. My first inclination is silver drop 3-2. And silver drop 3-2. If the king runs to 5-1, gold drop 5-1, 5-2 is mate, because the gold can't retake because it's pinned by the horse. So silver 3-2. If gold takes, so if silver 3-2, if gold takes, then horse 5-1. King takes, gold on head 5-2. King 3-2. Gold drop 4-1 is mate. So silver 3-1. King. This is a potentially call from that guy. I'll be right back. All right. Well, my apologies. That was the water softener replacement guy, and he is running early. So we had the cancellation for the carpenter ants, but the water softener guy is early. He said he's 6 minutes away. So I'm going to close up the stream. Sorry it was only an hour and 19, but thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for the cheap viewer ad. Just remember to remove the space from Streamboo, and we'll pick this up. We'll pick this up in the future. Thanks so much. Have a great remainder of the day, and enjoy your shogi. Take care. Bye.